Hello folks and welcome back to the MotoGP Fantasy Studio here in MotoGP HQ in Barcelona, Spain, where finally after a long summer break, at least it feels long anyway, only 3 short weeks since we were last on track in Germany, but we are back for the British Grand Prix and it's going to be an extra special one as we do celebrate 75 years of Grand Prix motorcycle racing with the hashtag MotoGP75 weekend here in Silverstone. It's going to be an absolute corker, not only because of the retro liveries that we're going to have out there, which you'll be seeing later today, unveiled in just under 2 hours time from now, but also the epic on-track action that will surely happen there at Silverstone this weekend, because so far in 2024 MotoGP has been fantastic, as we see last time out the change of the championship lead with Pecco Bagnaia launching himself back into top spot after that uncharacteristic mistake from Jorge Martin in Germany down at turn 1 there. And also we see that Marc Marquez there in third place in the championship as well, certainly making it interesting, absolutely. But as we say, we're here to talk about MotoGP Fantasy, and we've got a very special guest this week, none other than the Moto2 World Championship leader at the moment, Sergio Garcia. So we'll bring Sergio in and say a quick hello to him. Sergio, good to see you. How are you? All
Hello.
okay?
Yeah, here we are in Silverstone already.
Very good. How was your summer holidays? Did you manage to take a little bit of time off from training, enjoy some sunshine perhaps?
Yeah, I have some days resting at home. I didn't go anywhere to holidays. I just rest in my home because I'm feeling better to return, and then I just train like normal days, normal weeks in during a pre-season, no?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I guess for you riders, you can never take too much time off because you have to be at the very tip top of physical performance, absolutely. So, coming into this weekend, Sergio, of course, British Grand Prix, Silverstone, the longest track on the calendar. It's a bit of a challenge, Silverstone. It can be very tough, both on the rider, but also on the tyres. How do you feel coming into this weekend?
Yeah, I'm feeling super comfortable after these days resting at home. I think we have to change some things on the bike because in German I struggled a lot during the race because the rear tire was after 10 laps was completely destroyed. But I think we did a really good job during these days with all the team speaking a lot during these days. And yeah, we think we know in the way that we have to work to 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 do another kind of races, no? Like the first ones of the season that I win in in French GB, also in the Austin, and we did a really good job during that races. Then in German we struggled a little bit with the tires, but here in Silverstone I think we are ready to fight for the victory another time.
Yeah, I'm sure you can. As you say, done an excellent job this year, Sergio. Only second year in Moto2 and leading the World Championship with those victories and podiums and great consistency this year. I think you're one of the... It's maybe unfair to say surprises because everyone knew how good you could be coming into this season, but perhaps not everyone expected you halfway through the year to be leading the World Championship. Have you exceeded your own expectations so far?
Yeah, after last year that was a little bit difficult for me. First year in Moto2, I had to surgeries in my arms because I was suffering arm pump. But I think with that bike, with the Calex, I did 2 or 3 really good races. In Australia, I was leading the race in my first year, but I had a big crash and I couldn't finish the race. But yeah, I was feeling confidence, and this year with the change of the team, the bike, also the number, I was feeling really good, and yeah, I just give my 100% every time that I'm going into the track, and yeah, nothing more. I was expecting this kind of result. I think the people not was expecting as me, but yeah, I think if I had a good team that works with me, uh, it's easier, no, to win races and to be leading world championship.
Of course, Sergio, with your performances this year, it's kind of piqued some interest from the media and also riders about what your future might be, whether that means MotoGP in 2025 or later. One thing that I'm sure was very nice to hear was obviously Fabio Quartararo mentioned your name in who he'd like to see in Pramac Yamaha next season. How nice was that to hear from Fabio? And are there any talks going on for next year to see you in MotoGP?
Yeah, for me it's amazing, no, to have the support of Fabio and also to have offers in my second year in Moto2 to go to MotoGP. And yeah, it's my dream that I'm since a kid, and yeah, it's my dream, and one day I want to be a MotoGP rider. If I have the contract to sign, I will do it because it's just my dream and is where I wanted to be always. But for the moment, I'm full focused on finish this amazing year. I think we have a good opportunity to be a world champion. In 2022, I was just a runner up in Moto 3, but this year I'm changing a lot of things to be a world champion and if it's possible to be in MotoGP.
Well, let's see. I'm sure that you will be in MotoGP sooner rather than later, and good luck for the rest of the year, Sergio. But of course, we do have you here to do a little job for us. We need you to help us with our MotoGP fantasy team. So we'll bring in what we have now. This is the state of what our MotoGP fantasy team is, Sergio. Now, we just need your help to make two changes today, okay? So that can be two changes to the riders or maybe a manufacturer. But looking at this team for now, is there anyone that you think you would replace, or maybe the team or the manufacturer?
Uh, I would change the team for Aprilia.
Okay, let's have a look at teams. So let's remove KTM and Aprilia. Where are Aprilia? They are down here. So they're a little bit more expensive than KTM. So that leaves us with 1.6 million left to make another change.
And change constructor Aprilia to KTM. It's possible?
To KTM, let's have a look. Let's see what the money is. Yeah, KTM are only 100,000 more expensive, so we can do that, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, so happy with those changes?
Yeah. Then it's possible to change silver riders.
Unfortunately, we've only got two changes, so that's all we can do.
Ah.
If you want to change a rider, we could go back and do something different.
Yeah. I would change Miller.
Uh-huh. So let me roll back and let's go back to how we had it before.
Yeah.
So Miller. So let's remove Jack Miller, and then who would you like to bring in? So there
Spargaro
is.
is possible. Aleix Spargaro.
Yeah, of course, winner here last year in Silverstone. Where is Aleix? He's way down the bottom because, of course, he didn't take part in the majority of the German GP weekend with that injury to his finger. So he's only 2.3 million at the minute. Aleix is relatively cheap for a potential rider that could win this weekend. And then that leaves us with 1 million left, Sergio, to make another change. So you could change the team again like you did before, or maybe the constructor, or another rider if you wanted to.
I would change the team
Mm-hmm.
for
We would have 3.2 million, so
Gresini.
Grassini. We can't afford Grassini.
No.
3.5 million. We can afford Trackhouse, VR46, KTM, Gas, Yamaha. We can afford Aprilia, of course, and also the two Honda teams.
Yamaha.
Yamaha. Okay, we're going
Okay.
Yamaha.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good one for your future MotoGP prospects.
Yeah.
Good lad. I like it. Okay, so we've done these two changes. Okay, are you happy with these ones? Good for this one?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we'll just get your insight then into this weekend, Sergio, because of course, Silverstone, we always see a mix of different winners. I think there was 9 different winners in 9 events there until Pecco Bagnaia obviously doubled up in Silverstone. Who do you think this weekend is going to be a standout rider?
Um,
You can name a
I
few
would
names
say
if you want to.
uh, I would say Bagnaia
Uh-huh, of course.
and Viñales.
Vinales, yeah. Well, obviously Maverick
Yeah,
almost won here 2 years ago, I believe it was.
yeah.
Um, and very good. Where is Maverick at the minute? He is 2.8 million at the minute, Maverick. So for people watching along at home, another cheaper option if you want a really top rider. Obviously, Maverick the last few races had a couple of struggles, but we know he's been pretty good this season so far. And what do you think of the likes of Yamaha this weekend, Sergio? Of course, we know that Yamaha are still building themselves back to competitiveness, but Fabio has often done quite well in Silverstone. How do you think that both Fabio and Alex will go this weekend?
Yeah, I think they are improving a lot the bike. Yamaha is doing a really good job. Um, they were, I think, 3 or 4 weeks ago testing in Valencia, and I think they say that they are improving the bike and they are getting faster.
Yeah, absolutely. They're for sure improving the bike. We've seen the many updates this year, and hopefully there are more to come. It sounds as though both for Yamaha and Honda there are updates to come in the next few races. Um, Sergio, what do you like about the Silverstone track? Obviously, it's a very long track and extremely fast. Is it one of your preferred tracks, or is it one where perhaps you maybe struggle more than others?
In the past, I struggled a lot here, but it's a track that I like. I like the way to ride the bike here in this track. But I think this year is like Austin, no? I always struggled a lot, and this year I could win the race. I want to do the same here. Last year I was doing a really good job in my first Moto2 race here in Silverstone, but I crashed. This year I think I have to win. I have to go to win the race, and yeah, to to be one of my favorite tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you win, it would definitely help it to become a bit
Yeah,
more
sure,
liked by
sure.
yourself. It's going to be hard as well because we know how close Moto2 has been this season. Not only your teammate who's close to you in the championship now, Ayagura, but Joe Roberts and Fermin Adeguer. How competitive has Moto2 been this year?
Yeah, there are a lot of riders that in every race can win that race. No, it's difficult always in Moto2 because it's um all the riders stand there in Moto2 because to go up to MotoGP, it's almost impossible, no? And there are a lot of good riders there. And at the beginning of the old seasons, you have like 9, 10 riders to win the championship. Until the start of the championship, you don't know who is going to win, no? Um but I think if you are regular, it's one of the points of this category to win the championship.
Well, we'll see that this weekend. I'm sure it's going to be another big battle, and the Moto2 Championship will evolve again. Obviously, Joe Roberts last time did a fantastic job recovering points. So did yourself after struggling all weekend in Germany. It's going to be an interesting one, and also throughout the rest of the season. So we'll let you go, Sergio, because we know that Thursdays are busy for the riders, and we'll wish you good luck this weekend and also throughout the rest of the year. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Bye.
So, Sergio Garcia there, and he has chosen to change in Aleix Espargaro and also put Yamaha in as well, which, as we said, is probably a good idea for his future MotoGP prospects. If there is any possibility of him going to Pramac Yamaha next season, they're saying at the minute perhaps not, but we'll see what happens, because it's silly season. We never know what's going to happen. Even Agura, his teammate now, has in the media been linked to the Trackhouse Racing spot, which I think is a move that none of us really saw coming. We thought that Agura would perhaps be linked, always be in line for a Honda seat at some point in MotoGP in the near future, but you never know. Maybe he will be on an Aprilia next year. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that one in the coming weeks, as I'm sure those contracts will be signed and confirmed and made public indeed. So this weekend then, going to be a big one. Of course, just in about an hour and a half's time, right here on the MotoGP YouTube channel, you'll be able to watch the full unveiling of all the liveries that we're going to see on the MotoGP grid. Every single team will have a special livery this weekend, and it's going to be an absolute cracker. There's been some teasers and hints from some of the teams on Twitter. Go check out their profiles to see what perhaps some of the colorways or the design inspirations are for some of those liveries that we're going to see, but it's going to be a cracker to see those unveiled live here on the MotoGP YouTube in about 90 minutes time, so tune in for that one. Definitely going to be good to see the on-track action as well. We know that the championship is cooking up nicely, and you can see just how some of the form in recent rounds has really kicked on and changed. If we go into the fantasy stats, of course, is a good place to go if you're struggling to choose a rider for this weekend, maybe to trade in. You can see here just how fantastic Pecco Bagnaia has been in the last 3 GPs. Picked up 156 fantasy points courtesy of those back-to-back-to-back wins, and also the one before that. Going for 5 Grand Prix victories in a row here this weekend, and if he does that, he'll be the first rider to do it since Marc Marquez in 2019. And he's won around here before, so you wouldn't bet him out. See if he could do that. Of course, Jorge Martin, he'll be looking for a bit of redemption after last time in Germany. And Marc Marquez too, perhaps still maybe just needing to find a little bit to get on terms with Pecco Bagnaia and Jorge Martin. And I think many of us didn't expect that by the time we came into returning after the summer break, that Marc Marquez wouldn't have won a Grand Prix yet this season. We'll see what he can do this weekend in Silverstone. Definitely going to be an interesting one. One rider that's definitely a bit of a shout out for your fantasy team, if I can find him, is Franco Morbidelli. He's only scored 100 fantasy points all season, but in the last 3 races he's picked up 60 points, 60 fantasy points, and particularly in Germany he was really impressive and really aggressive actually. We saw some great battles with Frankie there in Germany last time out, so Frankie Morbidelli, a good option considering he's only 2 million as well, so you can get him on the cheap at the minute. So then, that's going to do it from me. I won't waste many more of your time and waffle on here. Sergio Garcia has helped us choose this team, and he has gone for Marc Marquez, and Marco Bezzecchi's stayed in gold, and the other 2 riders have stayed as well. Sorry, Pedro Acosta has stayed, and Aleix Espargaro has come in, with then Aprilia as the constructor and Yamaha as the team. So let's see what happens this weekend. It's going to be a cracker for MotoGP 75 as retro liveries are met with some modern style out there on the track. Hope you enjoy the action, and as I say, in about 90 minutes time, tune back in here because it's going to be a really cool event in pit lane to see those liveries unveiled one at a time. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you later.